My name is Drew Baker, and I'm on a mission to discover the very best of Croatian cuisine. My first stop is Zagreb County, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting my co-presenter, Adriana, who will be my guide to discover the most interesting spots. Zagreb is the perfect starting point for my culinary tour through the towns of Zagreb County. This is my first trip to Croatia, and I cannot wait to start our culinary tour of Croatia's finest. But first, let me say hello to my co-host, Adriana.
Hey, Drew.
Hello, Adriana.
Welcome to Croatia.
Thank you so much.
You're finally here.
Finally here, and I am so excited.
I am too. We're gonna have an amazing time.
Cannot wait.
Me.
So, Adriana, tell me, what can we look forward to in today's episode?
We can look forward to seeing 3 interesting cities of Zagreb County. Jastrebarsko and its vineyards, Samobor and its amazing restaurants and museums, and of course Zaprešić and outdoor activities and some cultural sites.
Sounds fantastic.
It's going to be.
My stay at Puntia Hotel is by no means an accident. Puntia boasts a library containing a staggering 2,500 cookbooks, from which it takes inspiration for its fascinating menus. I just have to try one of its recipes from the 18th century, which is the intriguingly titled venison in black soup. No, I think if this is my first introduction to the kind of food we're going to be having, I'm delighted.
We're going to be trying lots of food.
But I think this is a pretty good start.
It's a great start.
The first town Adriana and I will explore is Jastrebarsko, and more specifically its vineyards and wineries in the hills of Pleševička. Today we're in Jastrebarsko, a region well known for its vineyards and wineries. We're about a 25-minute drive from Zagreb, but it's time to get rid of the car because Adriana and I are going to be exploring the region on bikes. Adriana, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
First stop for us is at the Jagonic wine cellars, where Adriana promises me a childhood favourite, sopanjak, a short crust pastry filled with fresh cheese made from cow's milk, spring onions, chard and fresh parsley. I think it's absolutely delicious. I think the textures are fantastic. You've got that lovely crisp top to the pastry, and that's the key because it could quite easily become soggy and a bit heavy, but it's got that lovely crunch. And then for me, the second star of the show is that cheese, that lovely slight sharpness that you get from that fresh cheese. And all in all, I think it looked like a very simple dish, but the flavours are incredible. Delicate, delicious, and something I will definitely be trying to cook. Cheers.
Goes great together.
Perfect match. Fine wine and a hearty snack, the perfect and delicious fuel for us to continue our bike ride. Adriana leads the way to Restaurant Carlo, situated on top of one of the hills with breathtaking views of the lush, green countryside. Carlo, chef and proprietor, dazzled us with an array of delicious local dishes. The standout dish for me, the chicken roasted with a phenomenal stuffing made up of bacon, herbs, chicken liver and breadcrumbs. And see, when you said that it was a free-range, homegrown chicken, you can tell from the texture, from the colour, but most importantly from the flavour. You can tell it's not been reared in a box, you know, it's a wild,
running
delicious.
Free. Yeah.
And I think if you're the perfect setting for the perfect meal, right?
Perfect. Exactly, I agree. Drew, do you want to go paragliding with me?
You know, Adriana, I think I'll leave the extreme sports to you. I'm going to go and start preparing dinner because somebody's got to cook.
Perfect, then I'll see you a bit later.
See you later on.
Bye.
While Adriana gets ready to soar gracefully from the hilltops, I'd rather keep my feet on the ground and hunt for some locally grown ingredients to cook dinner. So today we have had a wonderful day of food, of hospitality, of wine, of adventure. It's been perfect. And what we're going to do now is encapsulate that whole day with some of the inspiration I've got today from this wonderful Croatian countryside. So I've got really spoilt today with the choice of ingredients. I've got some wonderful pheasants from right here, from the fabulous vineyard that we're at right now. We'll be cooking with some of the wines as well from here from Siban. So we've got the pheasant, we've got some wonderful vegetables, herbs picked from right behind me. So I'm going to take today's inspiration and hopefully roll all of that into a dish or two that we can enjoy for dinner and a nice glass of wine. I've now learned that Adriana will continue to be full of surprises. First I'm going to start off with doing the vegetables. So a little bit of oil. And what I'm going to do is some cabbage. We picked some beautiful cabbage from the vineyard. And I'm going to cook that. And I'm going to soften down some onions, some leeks, and some of this beautiful local bacon. All of it to give it layers and layers of flavour. So as soon as that oil's up to temperature, we're going to put in our carrots. Once that started to cook down, I'm going to add our bacon to that. So some lovely smoked bacon. Just stir that through. Now we don't really want too much colour on the vegetables, we just want them to start to soften. And now we're going to start cooking the pheasant. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil, but I'm also going to add some butter to this. So I just need to wait. When that butter melts and it starts bubbling and foaming, then it's ready to add the pheasant. With another one of our beautiful ingredients we got, actually just from behind me, from this spectacular setting. So rosemary and a little bit more of the garlic. So while that starts to heat up, let those flavours develop, and into that, our pheasant. Wow. So this pheasant is just cooked pretty much all the way through, but what I'm going to do is take it off the heat and just let it rest, just sit in its own juices, let all those flavours develop. So I'm going to take this out and just pop it down here for a second. But what I am going to do, because I've still got this wonderful pheasant, so I'm going to show you one other technique, one other dish you can do with this wonderful bird. So I've got my pan straight on, coming right up to temperature. And what I've got left is some garlic, some of that fabulous bacon, some rosemary, and then the pheasant. So all I'm going to do is show you a really simple technique. You can just cut down the legs. I'm not going to be using the legs, I just want the breast. But in the back we have the wishbone. So if we just run the knife and we just follow the line of that breast fillet. Now you can take it off with the wing. I don't want the wing, I just literally want that one beautiful fillet. And here we've got our bacon. So overlapping bacon. Now the bacon's quite salty, so that's going to season the bird. So we just fold that over. You know what we'll do for a little bit of extra flavour? We'll just put some of that rosemary in there. So that's that. Now we're going to put a tiny bit of oil to prevent it sticking. And then what we're going to do is lay that skin side down. By the time that cooks, our potatoes will be ready, our cabbage will be ready, and the other pheasant dish we did will also be ready. And it'll be time to eat and have a beautiful glass of wine. So that's it, the food is cooked. Now all I've got to do is plate it up and serve dinner.
So Drew, I have someone else here who might like pheasants. I want to introduce you to. Mm-hmm. Yeah? You want to see?
Yes, please.
Yeah?
It's a wonderful surprise, a perfect end to such a fantastic day.
I'm glad you liked it. Should we let it fly?
I think so.
Let's try this.
The spectacular end to our day was meeting an unexpected extra guest who would have undoubtedly also loved pheasant for dinner. Very appropriate, as Jastrebarsko translates literally as City of Buzzards. So, it's farewell to Jastrebarsko and hello Samobor. Samobor is a town popular with tourists, largely as a destination of serious foodies, which is steeped in history and tradition.
Drew, there's a place nearby.
Yeah?
They have 2 interesting products I want to show you. Are you up for it?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, let's go.
Fantastic.
That way. Do you like whales?
Wow, that's a lot deeper than I thought it would be.
It's amazing. It's
Pretty cool though.
Yeah, and I heard it's a lost whale. They actually found it accidentally.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
It's amazing, I know.
Hi, Drew.
Hey Tony, what an amazing place you've got.
Thank you. Nice to meet you
Yeah,
here.
you too.
So I'm glad that you came to visit me.
Yeah?
My family is one of the oldest families here in the Samobor, and we are famous as producer of 2 products.
Yeah.
One is called Bermet, it's aperitif or digestive, and the other is mustard that we make. So, please
Wow, fantastic.
try the Bermet.
My favourite drinks have that equal balance of bitterness and sweetness, so when I heard about this I thought I was going to enjoy it. I didn't realise I was going to love it as much as this, but it's fascinating. It's as you said, it's got that sweetness and the bitterness. It's delicious.
It is the wine. We put in this wine Mediterranean fruits, wormwood what makes it bitter, so it's combination of sweet and bitter taste.
Wonderful, and I guess the art is getting that balance between the fruit and the bitterness.
Of
Correct,
course.
right?
Yes, this is what have to be good balance.
But your family's had hundreds of years practicing, right?
Yes, I'm the 7th generation. I don't look
7th.
like, but yes.
Well, it's a fantastic product. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. A mere 10 minutes from the centre of the city, we take a break and cool down in the beautiful caves, ornately decorated with stalactites and stalagmites formed over hundreds and hundreds of years.
What do you think?
I think it's incredible. And you know what's amazing? I've been told that each one of these stalactites and stalagmites, they grow 1 millimetre every 30 years.
30 years.
So at the same speed where you and I move after lunch. So it's been yet another day of the most wonderful food and wine imaginable. So what we thought we'd do is we're in a wonderful location, we're going to mix it up a little bit and try dessert. We haven't eaten many sweet things, so we thought we'd change that now. So the inspiration for this dish today came primarily from Bermet. My introduction to this was today. I was so taken with it that it immediately inspired me to do a dessert. This and the wild strawberries we've been tasting since we've been here. So the idea formed from that. So the base of the dessert is the sponge. It's just a very simple sponge flavoured with sugar and vanilla. And I'm using the sponge, the strawberries, and then I've made a very simple syrup with this and a little bit of sugar. We just want not too large a piece. We don't want too much pudding after the amount of food we've had today. Just take a little rectangle and put up there. And then I'm just going to take these wonderful strawberries and just take off the stems and quarter them. Now the strawberries are amazingly sweet, they've got a wonderful sharpness, and what that's going to work as is a beautiful counter to the bitterness, which to me is the integral part of this wonderful drink. Now, if I was doing this at home, I'd probably do this an hour or two in advance to let the strawberries take on all of those wonderful flavours of the wine, of the figs, of the wormwood, but similarly to take that alcohol, let the strawberry flavours take on. And what we're doing is letting those flavours amalgamate. But we're going to fast forward a little bit for you today. So just stir that through. That's one element. And then the other most important component is the syrup. So that was a reduction. We reduced it by about a half. We added about 3 or 4 tablespoons of sugar, and what we end up with is this wonderful, glossy, shiny sauce, which will be used to finish off our dessert. So Adriana, as promised, here's pudding based on the dishes and the ingredients we've tried today. So why don't we have a taste and see what you think?
Thank you so much. I've been waiting for this all day. This is amazing. Wait, I'm gonna take one more.
See, it all works. Basil loves strawberries, mint loves strawberries, vanilla loves sponge, and we clearly love Bermet. So all in all, I think the dessert works, right?
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you. Well, that was my dessert inspired by today. The sponge, the vanilla ice cream, importantly the wild strawberries, but most importantly the Bermet, which created that wonderful syrup. And I think a fitting end as we enjoy dessert as we leave on the river ferry from Samobor. The third and final town to explore on our tour of Zagreb County is Zaprešić, where I'm delighted to meet my second co-presenter, Rana, at Lužnica Castle.
Hi, Drew.
Hi Rana, lovely
Hello.
to see you.
How was it so far?
It's been amazing, absolutely wonderful, and another absolutely stunning setting.
Yes, we're here in Lužnica. Let's make a tour.
Come on then. Acres of beautiful grounds where nuns produce an enviable number of products, ranging from jams to pastas to liqueurs, from seasonal homegrown ingredients. Sister, I've been very fortunate to have a walk around these beautiful, beautiful grounds, but now I'm curious. I'd love to find out a little more about what you produce here.
Well, we use all God-given gifts of nature to make some food and natural medicine, and maybe most actually now, seasonally, are products of dandelion.
Oh, wonderful.
We have jam of dandelion, honey, and liqueur.
Now, I've never tried dandelion products at all, so I'm intrigued, and I'd be very interested to try these.
To try this?
Yes, please.
Shall we start with jam?
Okay, fantastic. So dandelion jam,
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
dandelion
first
jam.
for me.
With lemons and sugar.
Okay. It's delicious. It has that flavour like a marmalade. It's got that lovely citrus flavour.
Yeah, you can eat it for breakfast.
I would happily eat this for breakfast. And now this one I'm very interested to taste.
But
So
careful, it's a lot of alcohol.
absolutely. But a dandelion liqueur.
Yeah, dandelion liqueur. Shall I?
Yes, please. Now dandelion must be full of health benefits.
Yeah. All parts of herb are health beneficial. Flower and leaves and roots.
So this will be very good for me then.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, cheers, thank you. That is delicious, but I think the sugar might hide how strong that is, so I'll be very careful with that.
It's very strong.
But
Don't
wow.
drink this and dry.
Hey, I'm sure you enjoyed your dandelion products.
That was wonderful.
But now let's go play some golf.
Absolutely, Rana. Let's go and play.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Rana, do you like betting?
Of course.
Right, I've got an idea. How about we play a round of golf, and the loser cooks the other one lunch?
Oh, really? You want to get out of cooking lunch?
I think so. Deal?
You have no idea what you're up against.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So we have had another fantastic day. Lots of food, lots of drink, lots of exercise, lots of golf. And so I'm going to cook a dish now, and it's a really simple, really quick meal, but it's delicious. So it's one of those really easy meals when you don't really want to spend a lot of time of cooking. Now the key to this dish, there's two keys actually. These wonderful mushrooms, which I picked in the region, and also we've got this amazing pasta, and it's this pasta which they add dandelions to, and we were kindly given that by the sisters at Luzhnitsa. A little bit of oil to our pan. Now for me, when I think of mushrooms, the herb, my favourite herb with mushrooms, or one of them, is thyme. For me, that just smells of the woodlands, and we can just pop that straight in. We'll pick out some of the stalks, but the beauty of it is you can just take the stalks out later on. Now I don't want the garlic to overpower the dish, so again I'm just going to use the cloves whole and just gently crush them just to release that flavour. Now they're going to take, as I said, another 3 or 4 minutes just for those onions to cook out that really strong raw onion flavour. And what we can start doing while that's cooking away is add this pasta. Now, you might be wondering why it's green. As I said earlier, they use the dandelion leaves, so that's going to add another flavour dimension. We'll just pour that in and just make sure that's all covered. And now we've got our mushrooms. So we've got that earthiness, that depth of flavour which you only get from mushrooms, and you only get from really good mushrooms. And that's something that I've loved so far here in Croatia, is just the range, the variety of mushrooms, all of which have a different flavour, all of which have a different texture, but they all have an incredible flavour. So the mushrooms are just where I want them. They've got that lovely golden colour and that water's evaporated off. And now we're going to add this wine. And what we want to do is just cook off the wine and just burn off the alcohol. We don't want that alcohol flavour, but we want that lovely sweetness and the acidity from the wine. Just need to let that come up to the simmer. And while that's just starting to evaporate a little bit, I'm going to take my pasta out of the water, because as I said, we don't want to overcook it. So that smell from the alcohol has gone from the wine, so now we know we can add our chicken stock. Lovely amount of chicken stock. You can, of course, use mushroom stock or vegetable stock if you'd rather. And bring that back to the simmer. And now our last ingredient, we can see that sauce is now beginning to thicken up really nicely. And what we want is just a bit of nice thick cream, just to finish off our sauce. Now, with dishes like this, you don't want the sauce to be swimming. You don't want lots of sauce just to be all floating around the pasta. What you want is a nice, thick, rich sauce which just coats the pasta enough to give you the flavour, but you don't want big puddles of it all over your plate. In with that lovely pasta. And just stir that through. Just gently work that around the pan, just enough to coat each of those strands of pasta. That's cooked. As I said, just to add a touch of freshness. Ready in minutes, incredibly simple, but most importantly, very delicious. And now I think we can probably find someone to help me taste this.
Hi, Drew.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, grab a fork and have a taste.
Oh, I can't wait. I think Drew is a magician. You really are. This is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can choose
A little toast.
another amazing dinner.
And another amazing day.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I've experienced a side of Zagreb County that will remain largely undiscovered to many who visit this wonderful part of the world. The best advice I can give anyone is to put aside some time, drive 30 minutes out of Zagreb, where you'll discover a whole new world of fantastic landscapes and some of Croatia's finest food and wine.